Okay guys, today we're going to be looking at a game I played last night, me versus another diamond level Protoss player, where it started off as a bit of a coin toss, as PvP always is, and ended very dramatically. So I was very impressed by this game and I really wanted to show some other people. So let's get into the replay now. In the top left corner is me playing Protoss Race. In the bottom right corner of Antiga Shipyard is Splinter, also playing Protoss. Okay. He's got quite a strange pylon placement here. I usually place my pylon right next to the Nexus every single time. Some players like to hide it. But I go for a... He goes for a 10 gateway, which I was quite curious about because, I mean, if you want to do something aggressive in PvP, you go for a 12 gateway, or an 11 if you want to skip corners, but a 10 gateway, that's usually a proxy gateway, but that's what he did. And I went for a 13 gateway, quite standard opening for me on PvP. Chrono boosted my Nexus twice, and he's only chrono boosted his once, and he's getting a 13 gas, so he's cutting a lot of corners. I mean, he's only got, let's have a look at the probes. Well, actually, there's not that much difference in the probes. I mean, I got 15, he's got 13. This gateway's nearly finished. Going down the cyber core. There's a 3 difference in probes now. Okay, so I go in with the scout, and I can see straight away that he's cut a lot of corners because I've only just put my cyber core down, and his is nearly completed, so I can see what's coming. Really, I know that he's got a 4-gate because he's got stupid amounts of energy on his Nexus, so he's saving that for chrono boost on warp research, which that is what he does. So I chrono boost out, first sell it. Strangely, he doesn't get a stalker here. Usually you see Steve the Stalker walk across the map, but he doesn't choose to get a Zealot or a Stalker. He just decides to save up for gateways, which, again, is kind of strange, but this player's just kind of got a wacky build, but this is what he's going to do. He's going to 4-gate. So I get my additional gates down and manage to, well, scare off this Zealot, this probe with my Zealot. He's got his 4 gateways down. He's still not building a Stalker, and he's still only got, well, 18 probes, but no units on the field. So I know that he's doing something aggressive, so I scout for that. This bit's very unlucky. If I would have hit that probe once more, yeah, puts down a second pylon, and he does manage to cancel that. And then I see this by here through my vision. Yeah, so his gates are just coming down now, but I mean the supply difference is quite big. I decided to counter his 4-gate with a 4-gate because I knew that he skipped so much. I don't think I would have been able to hold it with 3-gate robo. Don't think I would have had enough time to get them all out. But here I should have been with 2 more stalkers, chrono boosting 2 more stalkers instead of chrono boosting warp gate. So I would have had 4 stalkers to his 3, but instead, yeah, I decided to pull some probes and micro my 2 stalkers. Didn't actually lose a probe then. Yeah. I've still had 2 stalkers, now I've got 4 stalkers to his 3. This is quite a big micro battle. 4-gate micro battle. So I'm used to in PvP. But now all my gates are finished up, I've got equivalent to what he's got, but he's got less probes. I've got 3 more workers. So he's choosing to warp in Zealots here, which is a good idea on the high ground. Shame I couldn't finish that pylon off, causing me quite a lot of trouble here. I'll go for a bit of a probe pill. I do lose a few of those probes, but I could have lost the whole engagement if I didn't pull them. So this is the part where I thought it was over. I nearly clicked the GG button here. I mean, it was close. So I whooped in 4 zealots and thought, well, let's just try and push him out one more time. And he's not doing anything back home. I mean, he's not building anything other than workers. I mean, units for the engagement. I stupidly warped in a sentry there as well. That should have been a stalker, but I think this was his mistake. Him choosing to take out that pylon gave me enough time to warp in more units and get, well, enough energy on my sentry for a few force fields, even though it did supply block me. And then he's got 5 stalkers to my 3 zealots, 2 stalkers and a sentry. And this is where I start pushing him out a bit, because I've just got so many zealots that it makes it impossible for him to push stuff further up. Catch a nice stalker there. Bit of a small win for me. That's all you really need in PvP, is just if you keep getting small victories in fights, then you will come out on top. But he wasn't going to be able to push against that with just stalkers, so he had to back off. Which, currently we're in the same position. I've got a few more workers than him, but both taking our second gases with 4 gateways, so it's equal on the playing field. But saying that, I've got a lot more army supply. Yeah, 48, 36. It's quite a lot. Both choosing to go for Robobase, Robotech. Follow up to a 4 gate is usually, well, sometimes it could be anything, but I mean sometimes players choose to go for DTs, Phoenix, Harass. This guy expands exactly the same time as I do, which is kind of strange. I mean the Nexus is on exactly the same, but yeah, it just kind of shows that we're both in the same mindset. We both know that we gotta get an expansion up and a Robo to get some observers and immortals out. What I'm doing here is I'm stacking probes on my main so that I can transfer them to my natural. Just got small defense because he might have come at me with a big bunch of units, but or maybe 4 gate blink all in, which I see quite often. He's choosing to get another observer out and a Robo Bay, so it's fast Colossus. Whereas I'm going for another immortal. And I see that he's expanded, so I can now safely say that I'm not going to see an all in. So I can keep on building probes. Just what I want to be doing. So currently he doesn't know anything what I'm doing. He doesn't know that I've expanded, he doesn't know I've got a Robotech. I mean I know that he's expanded and that's something at least. And I got the middle watchtower for that. But yeah, I mean I managed to get quite high saturation on my natural just by transferring probes from my main, which was really nice. Get the base mining straight away and get double gas quickly. Yeah, work account's quite even, stalker's even. Difference here is I've got a few more zealots and an immortal obviously. If I would have pushed at that exact point, I may have been able to take him because of the Immortal, but with him having Colossus on the way, it's quite risky to try and push against Colossus early. With the force fields, that is. Just saturating my natural. Get my Colossus tech. He adds on 3 additional gateways, which I scout instantly with my observer, which is really nice. And so this kind of tells me that he wanted to go for a big attack because he's got 7 gateways, and a lot of chrono boost, which usually means he wants to chrono boost the gateways. Nice Artosis pylon there. A fight of the Stalker and the Zealot. Who will win? Yeah. Oh shit. Zealot's got backup. See, I haven't even started my Colossus production yet. Usually, I start quite late once I've got a lot of minerals coming in. But he's got 2 Colossus, but he's choosing not to push with that. I mean, if I was him, I'd try and be pushing with that, but obviously, he wants to tech up a little now into different tech options, which is fine. But just him having early Colossus, it's kind of useless for him. But I knew he's going early Colossus, so I went Zealot Charge with Zealot Archon, which is quite an old build, but it kind of absolutely wrecks faces against early Colossus. So if he would have pushed against me, he probably wouldn't have been able to beat that. Then again, going Zealot Archon is quite resource heavy, and if you don't do damage with it, it doesn't really do you any favors for the late game, because you can just mass Colossus and win in the end. Well, late meta game. Get my 3rd base up. I know he hasn't got his up yet, so I'm ahead of his economy. There goes his 3rd base. My idea here was, my thinking was, if he pushed into there, through here, I would be able to go up behind him. No such luck. This is the point where I start attacking to Colossi on double row facility, so I can get 2 Colossi out at a time. Transfer some probes to my 3rd. But I'm feeling quite safe here. I mean, he put down a lot more gateways than he needed to. Didn't do any damage with them. I got my 3rd faster than he did. Get more gas, which is all you need late game really. PvP is just gas heavy as fuck. But I mean, I'm only just starting to get Colossi out now, so this could be quite a bad fight for me if I engaged him on this platform. But because I hold the high ground, it might go a different way. Not sure. Would have been quite close. He's getting +1 ground armor. Already researched ground weapons +1. He's researching +2 armor and weapons. So his upgrades are better than mine. I choose to take a 4th here. This is quite a fast 4th, but because I've got high ground in the middle, I thought I'd be able to get it. I got quite a lot of Archons, which are quite good. But from the start, I mean, I had a 20 supply advantage against him, which, you know, if you have a 20 supply advantage for the whole game, you feel quite safe, I'll say. And he has to really do something to like earn it back from there. Yeah, I got a second forge up, getting +2 grand weapons, and he's getting his mothership already. So his tech is a lot higher than mine because I went Zealot Archon, and he should really have won this. I mean, with him, I don't know exactly why he went for a mothership on top of having 7 Colossus. He doesn't have any Archons. I'm the one with the Archons. So if he would have vortexed my army, I probably would have come out on top just because of the Archons. But I'm starting to get quite a few Colossus now. But my mothership tech is way behind. I mean, I've just put down my Stargate. And he's just putting down his Templar Archives, so kind of equal on that front. Both mined out the main. He's quite active with his zealots though. I mean, that's something I should probably do more, is send zealots around the map, make sure he hasn't taken a secret base. Actually, that's probably what I was doing with those zealots. I was probably sending them to scout. And this pylon up here is really good for me. And he can see that I've already got a 4th base up and running, and it's gold, so I'm getting a lot more gas income than him. So look at the income tab. Yeah, I've got 60 harvesters with 300, 400 more gas coming in than him, so that's huge in PvP. I've got quite a nice concave on my Colossus here. A huge mistake I make in this game though is I've only got 8 warp gates and stupid amount of minerals. I mean, by here I should just slap down 10 more gates by here. And I do, but it's too late. I mean, I've got crazy amount of minerals at the moment. Maxed out. He actually maxed out faster than I did. This is the big thing, because he thinks I'm going to go down there to deal with these zealots, but he pushes in from up here. Catches my army a little bit out of position, vortex all my colossi bar 1. But he doesn't have many archons. He chooses not to send his army into there, which is good for him. But it doesn't. The vortex doesn't really do anything. It just stalls the fight till later. But it's so close. My zealots shredded into his army. At the same time, his are doing the same to me. It's so close. Take down that colossi. One zealot to rule them all. But yeah, I'm in trouble here. I mean, one thing I did was I managed to cancel his 4th with this pylon, which is probably what won me the game at the end of the day. But it's just small things like this. I have nothing really, and obviously I've only got 8 gates to back it up, which was why it took me so long to remax my army. And he doesn't have his gates hotkey. Oh, that's fair enough. Actually, you can just press W, which is something I should probably do. But he's got more gates than me, and he knows I haven't got a 4th base. I mean, he's really active with scouting, making sure I haven't got a base above him. At the moment, I'm just trying to scrabble together whatever I've got, really. I mean, I've only got 4 Colossi, 2 Archons, and no mothership. I am creating a mothership. I do start to create a mothership at this point, because I know I need one. Exactly the same supply up until that point. 132, 132. That's how close this game was. This is basically PvP in a nutshell. But there are certain things you need to know what to do. And I think a large thing is don't make too many probes. I mean, I never really go over 60 probes in PvP unless we're both having a heavy macro game. The reason why I have so little probes, I guess, is because they both start off as a 4-gate, but you only really need 3 bases mining max. I got a lot of probes on here. But if you build too many probes, it can be the death of you. Same in every matchup. But he's taking a 5th when he's not mining from this. Yeah, I'm just trying to get together the perfect army compilation. Composition, not compilation. My ship. And this is brutal for me. I mean, from here there's no way I could go into a macro game because he takes my 4th. And he's got that base mining and this base soon to be up. So I'm thinking I need to take this here and stand my ground. Or it's just going to be over and I'll be a little till. He's got the high ground advantage. I lost quite a few probes then as well. Lost about 8 probes when I was moving them across. This is it. Moving in for the kill. One High Templar for the feedback. Take note, I vortexed his mothership. Archon Pudding. Right in the center of the map. Yeah, baby. I had 6 Archons. All of them managed to survive, all my Colossi managed to survive. There's no way he's going to come back from that. GG. I hope you enjoyed, and like to subscribe and follow me on Twitter if you enjoyed.